Well, with that, let's move on in the bulletin and let's get you the top focus story. Yes, it is indeed the several attacks which are being faced by that man on your screens. In fact, let's tell you how after Kichcha Sudeep traversed from Sandalwood to the Saffron Party, he's been facing one hit after the other. But not the kind that he's been used to. Not only has he been derided by parties and his own peers for campaigning for the Saffron Party, but now there is a complaint to the Election Commission as well. The JDS has moved the poll panel seeking blackout of Kichcha's films, ads as well as programs on TV and media till the elections are over. In fact, they contend that since he is BJP star campaigner, his work too falls under the purview of EC's Model Code of Conduct. Now remember, there is already a complaint with the poll body by an advocate to stop airing Kichcha's films and ads since it might just influence the minds of voters. And now JDS and the Congress have echoed this as well.
He is a big star. I'm a very big fan of him. Let his movies, advertisements, his OTT platform, everything, let it really wait for 40 days. And if Nikhil Kumaraswamy's advertisements, movies are stopped, let Sudeep movie and OTT platform should be stopped.
If the ad is a propaganda ad, if the film is a propaganda film and a political, which has political undertones, then the Election Commission can take it. But if it's a commercial ad, if it's a commercial movie, I don't think that is the right thing to do. Because Sudeep has fans across parties, across religions. But having said that, Mr. Sudeep also has a greater role as an ambassador of Karnataka, as the ambassador for youth to play. So he should choose his, where he wants to use his influences, where he wants to use his celebrity status with a lot of caution, because a lot of people will actually believe what he says.
Well, it's interesting to see how Kichcha Sudeep has gone from being hailed as a hero by political parties to being derided by them after he decided to campaign for the BJP. In fact, you can see that picture on your screens. Ahead of the 2018 Karnataka polls, HD Kumaraswamy was hosted by Kichcha at his home. HDK had then said that he had appealed to the star to use his voice to raise the issues of the people. In fact, days later, you can see Kichcha with HDK as well. Kichcha also met the then Chief Minister, which was Siddharamaiah, at his residence. Remember, even last month, you had Kichcha Sudeep meeting Congress Karnataka Chief DK Shivakumar, sparking off speculation of him joining active politics. So today, the same parties have questioned him for his political choice. Isn't that interesting? So let me go across to our guests who are joining us. Vijay Prasad of the BJP will be joining us shortly. KV Dhananjay is there with us, an advocate. Now, Mr. Dhananjay, if you can explain to us the Model Code of Conduct, which is being cited as per the People's Representation Act, which is being cited by JDS in the complaint that they have sent to the Election Commission. Does it even cover the star campaigners, or is it just restricted to the candidate? How does it work?
Well, first of all, we have to recognize that the Election Commission of India does have, a wide power set to deal with circumstances and then to pass appropriate orders. So it's impossible to say that the Election Commission can be asked to do what these parties now want the Election Commission to do. But the question is not about the power, but the question more about is the practicality. Because there have been instances in the past where candidates, when they do contest elections, the Election Commission, would have given out directives that certain films involving the candidates not be telecast, so on and so forth. But Kichcha Sudeep, by the way, is not a candidate, but then he is a person who would be, campaigning for some members or some candidates. Now, there is this rule of star campaigners, but then that is a matter where within 7 days after a notification is issued for a assembly election, the party concerned will have to provide a list to the Election Commission, that is to the CEO of the state. Now that, 7 days has passed and apparently Kichcha Sudeep is not included in that. So if Mr. Kichcha Sudeep would want to, support some candidate, then the money that he would be receiving would have to be treated as a money that should be apportioned against the candidate's, permission for spending in that constituency. So that might be the difficulty, but otherwise it's practically impossible.
But Mr. Dhananjay, if Kichcha Sudeep is not in the list of star campaigners, which you say that he isn't, then what's the problem? Then why the hue and cry?
Well, there should not be a hue and cry, but I think the problem is somewhat different, and it's quite likely that that dynamic may emerge in the days to come. The dynamic is, as Mr. Sudeep has himself pointed out, he is in this because of the money that he would be getting. So who's really paying in the money? And the money that he would be getting, how is it going to be apportioned against any candidate for whose canvassing he would be proceeding? Because every candidate can only spend so much of money. And this whole rule about the star campaigners is basically to make sure that the money that the star campaigners will also be incurring is money that will not be apportioned against the candidate's permitted limit.
But
so,
Mr. Dhananjay, in that case, because the JDS very categorically saying that if you put out films and ads of Kichcha Sudeep, it may influence the voters. If he's not even a star candidate, forget about his funds. But does it, or is there a possibility this airing of his promos, his ads, his films may influence the voters as per the rule book?
Well, the possibility of influence alone cannot determine what will have to be done in any given case. I think the opposition parties might be right when they say that Mr. Kichcha Sudeep's canvassing could in fact fetch more votes to the BJP. But the question essentially is, has the Election Commission in the past dealt with such campaigners, not in the capacity of star campaigners, because Mr. Kichcha Sudeep is not a star campaigner. He is actually he is a different, he's a campaigner in a different class. So how does the Election Commission deal with it? It's practically
we'll have to wait and see how the Election Commission gets to deal with it. But Vijay Prasad of the BJP is also joining us. Mr. Prasad, is very interesting because we are playing out pictures of Kichcha Sudeep having met the KPCC President DK Shivkumar. Kichcha Sudeep in 2018, just a month before the election results came out of the state polls, you had him meeting both HDK as well as the then Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. At the time, he was hailed by every party as a hero, as a protagonist, but today after he openly endorsed your party, it seems he's become a pariah.
See, I would like to say the first thing, आप लोग रोना बंद कीजिए. When the Congress feels powers is slipping out of their hands, they try to create fear in the country. When I would like to remind the viewers the incident which happened during emergency in 1976 and 77. When Kishore Kumar used to sing in the Congress rally in 77, he was banned. At that time, Kishore Kumar was everywhere, on TV, on radio, on All India Radio. Unki chutti ho gayi. His film Andhi was banned. Let us remember his film Andhi was banned. Imagine the mindset of the Congress. Congress and the ecosystem are rattled after Kichcha Sudeep announced support to Bommai. See, Kichcha Sudeep is not the first and the last star campaigner for any of the political parties. This is not the first time and the last time. A star campaigner during the election. Their presence influence huge fan base. If BJP has Kichcha, Congress has comedians, like Sadhu Pokilatas. Why, I need to ask, why Congress is so rattled when Kichcha Sudeep
is there more? Okay, I think you made your point. KV Dhananjay, is there more of politics rather than prudence and probity which is involved in this complaint which is going out against Kichcha Sudeep? If he were instead to perhaps campaign for the JDS and Congress, these same voices perhaps would be silent.
Well, I think it's important for these opposition, in Karnataka, they happen to be the opposition. Opposition political parties should worry less about, what's happening, because what they want the Election Commission to do is something like the Election Commission does not have much precedent in. The Election Commission has previously banned a film made on the Prime Minister because the Prime Minister was himself contesting and he was a leader of a political party. But then that you can't apply here because this man is a film star who's coming forward to converse, according to him, to in respect of some candidates only. And, this would be, I think, the natural competitive disadvantage in a marketplace. I think political parties opposition political parties will have to learn to live with it. Perhaps they can always actually raise the question of what kind of money Mr. Kichcha Sudeep is being paid, and that he, as part of canvassing, also say why he has come forward to canvass for any particular political candidate. Because if he's therein for the money, maybe the opposition can always request that, look, this money should be apportioned against the spending limit of the candidate in whose favor Mr. Sudeep goes to canvass.
Right.
And perhaps, something like that, because that
So
would be within the legal framework.
Is that what's happening, Vijay Prasad, that Kichcha Sudeep is now being paid by the BJP to canvass? And if that happens, if he canvasses for any of your candidates, will that be taken as money and funds accrued for campaigning and be deducted from the funds allotted?
No. See, when Kichcha Sudeep has announced that publicly that he will support Basavraj Bommai, and these people have totally rattled and they have lost sleep since 3 days. Okay, hypothetically, let's assume if Kichcha had supported Congress or JDS, will they have the same kind of opinion on the Kichcha Sudeep? What would be the... See, here the ecosystem is working overnight, burning midnight oil, and they want to defame Kichcha Sudeep and the entire actors' fraternity. This is the kind of ecosystem. See, this ecosystem has been working since 1976-77 when Kishore Kumar was banned. And the same mindset even runs in the current blood veins of the Congress and the ecosystem. What has changed? Hypothetically, what would have been their opinion if Kichcha had supported DK Shivakumar or Shivakumar, or Kumaraswamy? See, why Kumaraswamy is so rattled? Because his son, Kumaraswamy, contested in Mandya a couple of years back, and the same film fraternity.
And at that time also, his posters were removed. His posters, film posters were removed, and that is why today the HDA is saying that even the posters of Kichcha Sudeep perhaps on the same parity levels be removed. However, KV Dhananjay, there is a huge difference, isn't it? A star campaigner and someone like Kichcha Sudeep, who you yourself have said is not even on the list. Then why should his films be blacked out?
That's precisely why the Election Commission may not be able to do much here. And even these political parties will have to learn to live with this aspect, which is we've made these rules, and these rules will strictly apply when a candidate is in question. But when you have a campaigner who is not a star campaigner within the meaning of Section 77 of the Representation of People Act, because star campaigner will be those campaigners whose names the political party concerned will provide to the Election Commission within 7 days of the notification issued for the election. Now 7 days have already passed. So Mr. Kichcha Sudeep would obviously not be in that because he made his announcement much after 7 days. So in cases like this, I think the political parties at the most will have to learn to live with it, and perhaps they can always ask Mr. Sudeep, as I've already said, to disclose how much money is in this for, because he's a film star. And money does matter to him.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, he did say that money, in fact, is a motivating factor, that, he's in fact trying to repay the gratitude that he's received from some of the candidates who've been generous to him in the past and all that.
So we'll have to see, however, if there's going to be monetary gains also being made out of it. But right now, we have Kichcha Sudeep facing one hit after the other. These are not the hits that he's usually used to in Sandalwood, but joining the Saffron Party, there are different kind of hits that he's facing from peers as well as other political parties that he in the past has also gone and had closer ties with. However, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us here with your views.